There's a quiet revolution brewing in higher education, and it's all about something called the AI-enhanced professor. Today, we're going to dive into what that actually means for the future of learning.
So, let's just jump right in with a pretty wild question. What if AI could grade your essays, or even design your entire course? I know it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but trust me, this isn't fiction. It's a shift that's happening as we speak.
And that brings us to this idea of a new kind of professor. The really important thing to get here is that this isn't some far-off futuristic concept. No, this evolution is happening right now, in real time, on campuses all over the world. And it's all being driven by some new pressures and some amazing new possibilities.
Okay, so what is an AI-enhanced professor? Let's break it down. Basically, we're talking about a teacher, an educator in higher ed, who's using the power of AI to make the whole learning process better. And I mean the whole process, from building the curriculum from scratch all the way to grading your work. We're not just talking about some new fancy software here. This is about weaving AI into the very fabric of teaching itself.
Here's a way to picture it. The syllabus for your next class, an AI might have had a hand in writing it. And those assignments you turn in, they could come back to you with feedback that's not just faster, but maybe even more precise than what a human could do alone. But, and this is a big but, the whole point here is to help the professor, to augment them, not to replace them. That's key. So you might be wondering, why is this happening now? What's the big push? Well, it really comes down to a fundamental tension in the modern classroom. And it's something that, honestly, both students and teachers are feeling pretty intensely.
Okay, so on one side, you've got professors who are just swamped. They're buried in administrative work, grading papers for hours and hours. But then, on the other side, you have students who, rightfully so, are asking for more. They want learning that's personalized, that's engaging, that really speaks to them. And right there, that's the gap. A huge gap between the day-to-day reality of teaching and what we all know learning should be.
So, the big question is, how do we close that gap? Well, the solution might just be in how we think about AI. We need to stop seeing it as just another tool, like a calculator or a word processor, and start seeing it as a true teaching partner.
And when you start thinking of it that way, the applications are actually super practical. I mean, think about it. AI can take on the huge, time-sucking job of grading essays. But it can do more than that. It can provide a deeper analysis, maybe spotting a misunderstanding that's tripping up the entire class, something a single person might totally miss. It can help lay out the structure for a whole course, or even pull in real-time data to make lectures more interesting. And what does all this do? It frees up the professor's time and energy to focus on what really matters, the actual teaching.
And that partnership, well, that leads to maybe the biggest shift of all. We're talking about a complete redefinition of what it even means to be an educator. So traditionally, you might think of a professor as a knowledge deliverer, right? They stand at the front of the room and just transmit information. But this new role, it's way more dynamic. They go from just delivering knowledge to becoming a strategic learning architect. Think about what that means. When you let AI handle all the routine, repetitive tasks, professors are suddenly free to focus on the big picture. Instead of just giving lectures, they get to design these really incredible, impactful learning journeys. They can spend more one-on-one time mentoring students. They can focus on sparking that critical thinking, the kind of thing a machine just can't do. They literally become the architects of the entire experience. So when you pull it all together, what you're seeing is a future for education that's, well, AI-enhanced. And it's all built around one simple, powerful idea: collaboration. Yep, there's a quote from the material we're looking at that just hits the nail on the head. This isn't some battle of humans versus machines. Not at all. It's about human-AI collaboration in the pursuit of a better learning experience. And that's a learning experience is better for everyone. More effective, more engaging, the whole shebang.
Look, this change isn't something that's on the horizon. It's already happening. So the real question we have to ask ourselves isn't if this new kind of classroom is coming. It's here. The question is, are we ready for it? Are you, as students, as educators, as institutions, are we all truly ready for what's next?